Hello and welcome back to another episode of Why So Sidious, a Nerd podcast. Joining me today is my co-host JD, and we are bringing you another edition of Week in Geek, and it's another jam-packed episode. We have a lot of news from D23, a new Avengers trailer, X-Men casting, Ahsoka season 2 trailer. It was another great event right after Comic-Con. They did save some stuff for D23, so we're here to talk about it. Don't forget to check out some of our recent episodes. We had our House of the Dragon season 3 finale coverage where Andy and JD joined Ben and I. It was a jam-packed episode. Love that one. And we had our Spider-Man Brand New Day full spoiler review come out last weekend. Go check that out. It just passed Infinity War for 7th all time on the box office list. That's pretty crazy, right?
Crazy. And then you gotta expect Doomsday to beat Spider-Man's box office, right?
No.
But the numbers feel so absurd that how could it
agree.
possibly beat those numbers? But at the same time, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah. But the Odyssey and Spider-Man came out 2 weeks apart, but Avengers and Dune coming out the same day maybe takes it down a little bit, but still.
Now Dune versus Odyssey at the box office is a real conversation. Can it crack $1 billion? The first two didn't, right?
No.
Yeah.
The second one came very close. And don't forget to check us out on social media at Why So Sidious Pod, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Check out our website, whysocidious.com. Links to all our podcasts, merch store, bios, maybe our Road to Secret Wars. We'll be getting back on that soon. JD just sent me a comic in the mail. I got it. It's actually right here.
Let's go.
We'll be reading that very soon. Get back on our Road to Secret Wars. So thank you. I appreciate that.
What volume is that again?
A Perfect World.
Look at the spine. Does it have a number?
New Avengers, A Perfect World, 4.
Volume 4. Oh wow, that was like 7. Anyway, great comic to get to know what incursions are like. Really, if you want to figure out what the deal with incursions are, that's a good book to read. Incursions being a big part of Doomsday.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited. Okay, it's a weird comment. I'm not going to bring that up. Let's talk about. So, Lanterns came out last night. JD, I watched like the first 20 minutes. You want to give a quick kind of spoiler-free review of the first episode for the fans out there and me?
Man, no spoilers.
There's a lot of controversy about it.
I get it. There's like no space. I mean, spoiler-ish, but we're not going to space. We're not looking at green suits, and that's the
not
same.
Surprising though.
That's the same problem we heard in the trailers. A lot of people didn't like that, but man, as a Green Lantern comic book fan, one of my favorite comics, just like to read this past 20 years, I've really liked it, man. I really loved it. I think Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan is just steals the show. I mean, even if he's just talking, chatting, bantering, and he's perfect. You get a lot of lore though. You get to know a lot of how the Green Lanterns kind of fit into the world. We're jumping times from 2016, 1996, before the Superman movie, because eventually this is supposed to lead. Jon Stewart's going to be in Superman: Man of Tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But even as a Green Lantern comic book fan, this is so different from any Green Lantern comic I've read. But man, I just love the grounded grittiness of it, and the characters are just done so well. Man, I really enjoy just everything about it, man. All the characters are done. John, Hal, the side characters, and the story, the mystery. It does feel like True Detective. It totally has that vibe. I kind of was wondering that they might have been talking out of their ass about that, but it really does feel that way. There's an interrogation scene and a murder mystery there, and a pretty weird ending, kind of a cliffhanger where it's like, wait a minute, what is happening? It's really going to draw you in.
Okay.
A little tiny bit of Green Lantern powers. They were used fine, but it doesn't matter. It feels like an HBO show. HBO does quality shows, and I'm just glad it kind of deserves to be called an HBO show because it's at that quality, man, with the character and the story being told. I'm loving it. Can't believe we're getting Lanterns like this. Not even on the big screen, but as a TV series and like a rated R series. It's like a dream come true, even though it might not feel like the comics, man. It's really solid. Really can't wait to see where this goes.
Yeah, from what I saw so far, Hal and John have a great chemistry back and forth, kind of the mentor and the mentee. And you don't want to show all the powers in the first episode. You have to build up to that. So especially when it's an 8-episode series. Don't like show all your cards in the first episode.
Yeah, and when they do use those cards, it's for example, Hal, not a big spoiler, but he freaking flies at one point, and the way that you could see, I don't know if it was a sonic boom or just interrupting the freaking air, but the way he flies through the air and the perspective we get and seeing him, I thought it was done so cool. It feels kind of
That's
real
sick.
in a way. You'll see. It's just a really
Like
small
Top
little
Gun,
scene, but I was like, that's
right?
dope.
Well, I'm excited. We'll be covering that very soon. Hopefully, covering the first episode later this week. But let's get into the D23 news. We got a new trailer for Avengers Doomsday coming out December 18th. So, JD, how did this trailer work for you compared to the first one? I feel like it kind of built off of it where they're pretty connected and it showed more of Doctor Doom and what his kind of backstory is.
I liked this trailer even more. I did. Because I just wanted that Doom dialogue. We got throughout this trailer. I was like, Doom is really doing his Doom thing with the way he's talking, and RDJ's voice with that Russian accent
Yeah.
doesn't even sound like Tony. It doesn't sound like Tony Stark. It barely sounds like RDJ. You have to really look for his voice to find it in there. But man, it just looks good. I don't know. Doctor Doom's superhero landing, as cliche and corny all those are. I thought that was sick the way he jumps out of that. Raising the Sentinels like that. We heard that was probably a part of the trailer, but just to see it in action was incredible. Magneto, man, Ian McKellen, he looks as old as he is. He is that old and he looks that way. And it's like, damn, that's gonna be interesting. But I think they got something really cool for Magneto to do in there. But just the trailer alone looked really, 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 really good. Can't wait. Doctor Doom's like my favorite comic book villain, man. I'm pumped. This is based off one of my favorite comic book series. I don't care. This looks awesome. I need a Doctor Doom mask up there next to Red Hood now.
There you
we'll
go.
have a movie.
Yes.
We'll have a movie edition now that's accurate to the movies and not just some random, because that's like a random ass Red Hood mask. He's never been in live action.
Right.
Oh, unless it's the Titans one. I wonder if it's based off that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't matter.
But I think the highlight for the trailer for me was Mr. Fantastic Pedro Pascal confronting Victor, where he's like, "What did you do?" Like when it shows the shot of like, it's definitely a different universe's version of New York where it's totally destroyed, and whenever like an incursion happened there, so maybe that's Doctor Doom's universe, and then Pedro's like confronting him, saying like, because what we kind of theorized earlier was that Doctor Doom convinces them to work together at the end of the Fantastic Four post-credit scene, and then they later figure out during Avengers that he's not as good as he says he is. So did you like this scene from Pedro as well?
Yeah, because in the Fantastic Four movie, we never really got Pedro like deep and intense and in the moment like that, and he was freaked out. And now you got to wonder what the hell Doctor Doom did to earn that kind of reaction. So just to see Pedro, because I swear, Mr. Fantastic wasn't, I like that movie, but Mr. Fantastic he didn't have a ton to do acting wise. It was all pretty basic, all pretty science, all pretty par for the course. You didn't get to see him like dig deep. And you saw more of that in him in this trailer than you did in that movie, in my opinion. And you just got to wonder what Doctor Doom did.
Do you I have a theory. Maybe an incursion was happening on his universe and he destroyed the other universe to save his, but it was too late to save his family, because it seems like what Sue's talking about is where everything was taken from him. I didn't know exactly how broken he really was. Like, so I'm wondering if like he made this like crazy decision to save his universe by destroying an entire other one, and Pedro, Mr. Fantastic figures it out and he's like, holy shit, like what did you do?
Yeah, I don't think that's tied to his family's death. I think his family's death happens way before that, but I think you're right on the spot. In the incursion kind of moral complexity of that whole saga, you have to destroy the other world or else your whole universe dies. So I think he's just the one that makes that decision, and he destroys an incursion world that's incoming. And that's kind of how everyone reacted in the comics when certain characters may or may not do that kind of thing. And they all freak out. So I don't see what else he could have done. He's going to destroy a whole ass planet and to save his universe or something like that.
That makes sense. And then we see shots of Thor's daughter, Love, Captain America's child. I don't know if we know if it's a boy or a girl. And then there's also Cassie and Scott Lang hugging. So we're wondering if maybe these are kind of lives stolen, where Doctor Doom, we know the TVA is involved in this. We know timelines and Loki is very important. Do we think Doctor Doom is like coming back to right the wrongs of these timelines?
I'm trying to find the text Dave sent us because
Right.
Dr. Doom said that. He said, "You're all living stolen lives." And I was trying to deduce what the hell that meant. And Dave, our other freaking host that's not here, member of the podcast, sent us
On
this
vacation.
thing. Here it is. Okay. So, first point, Steve stayed back in time and had a baby with Peggy. Kind of a stolen life there.
Yeah.
Thor had Gore, wished to save Love, and he took her as his own. In a way, you could say that's a stolen life, but he kind of saved her life. I don't know. But still kind of fits in the category. Tony had a child.
Yeah.
Refused to erase the timeline, but opted to bring back half of the universe. So kind of iffy there. You could throw it in the category. Loki, 2012, jumped the time stream and is still alive. What he's doing in that Loki show is kind of a stolen life because the regular history didn't have him stealing that cube and disappearing into the time stream. Kind of a stolen life.
Yeah.
Wolverine went back in time, altering the present, saving Jean, Scott, and Xavier. Days of Future Past, right?
Yeah.
Stolen life. Wanda created 2 kids using magic, obviously. Stolen life. Peter had Doctor Strange make everyone forget Peter. Kind of a stolen life. And then, yeah, that's it.
That's a lot.
Now it kind of makes sense. You can kind of break it down that way, and you're all living stolen lives can fit pretty well into some major characters.
Right. And a guy who's trying to stop incursions, obviously these type of things will start one.
Right. Exactly.
And another theory from the trailer is there could be 2 different Doctor Dooms. I know he changes outfits in the middle of that scene when he's, landing on the ground, but it almost seems like, I know Robert Downey Jr. is wearing green contacts because obviously his eyes are like a hazel brown color, but in a couple of different shots, and people have been kind of theorizing maybe Cillian Murphy's the other Doctor Doom, like they're still going to do that, where there could be 2. Do you think there's 2 different Doctor Dooms in this movie?
No, I don't think so.
It's crazy.
1% chance.
Yeah.
But because the Russos said months ago, he's going to wear multiple masks and multiple outfits. Okay. So it's just kind of a not super. I don't see that in the comics a lot, but that's what they're going with. But yeah, there's no way there's another casting for Doctor Doom. And I think the only thing I thought of is he's going to wear a pretty friendly ass looking suit when I still kind of think they're going to think he's a benefactor for a while. Like the heroes are going to think he's here to help. But then I'm like, well, they showed us full villain mode Doctor Doom in the trailer. So now I'm like, I don't even know if that's going to happen anymore because that wouldn't be a surprise. Not that really it would have been a surprise to most of us if he came across as a hero originally. But I don't know why he'd wear different costumes, but we know for sure he is.
Right. And we see an extended clip of Thor versus Doom, which we saw in the first trailer, where he, stops Stormbreaker with his 2 fingers. But in this one, we see throws it to the side and just gives him a little magic cosmic blast to the chest, throwing Thor back, which leads to him rising the Sentinels back from the death in front of Thor. So this must be where, in the first trailer, we saw Thor comes back and says, I've never seen a power like this, and you guys are all scrubs compared to the last team, so we don't have a chance. But Doom rising the Sentinels, how excited did that get you?
That was so dope. I mean, you're just merging X-Men and Avengers, X-Men and MCU, Doctor Doom and all these characters. Sentinels is so quintessential in the X-Men lore as villains, I guess you could say. They're not sentient, but man, he's going to be raising an army of Sentinels, and we get to see all these characters we love fighting Sentinels. Like, who would have thought, like, our Shuri, Captain America, and them are going to be fighting these X-Men killing machines. That's just super exciting.
Right.
I just want to know what planet this takes place on, like what is going on here. It could literally be like anything. And that's part of the reason this movie is just going to be super exciting to go see, because it's not going to be familiar at all. I feel like it's so different. And that's exciting.
Because we see Cyclops with the Sentinels as well. So do you think Doom takes the Sentinels to another planet or another universe, or is that all happening at the same spot? It looks similar.
Oh, it's a good question. Like, why? Yeah,
It looks like a similar
he's
background, right?
it has to be an incursion with an X-Men universe. I think that's clear, obviously. But then it's like, why are these Sentinels already surrounding the X-Men? Were they already under attack by somebody before Doom showed up? Because it's not like they just have Sentinels hanging around the Xavier
Right.
mansion. So nothing but questions, man, and I have no answers for you.
Like they take the Sentinels out and then Doom arrives and brings them right back to life. You know,
Right?
crazy.
Maybe he sends them originally and they all beat him up and then he raises them back from the dead. I don't know.
I'm excited though. Have a couple critiques, like nitpicks. I don't want to judge a book by its cover. I feel like the CGI and the VFX aren't done yet, but some of it felt a little bit like a video game. Some of the Doctor Doom stuff, I don't know what it is with him in his suit, but it just feels just slightly off. You know what I mean?
See, I felt that way about the first trailer for some reason, so I do know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I don't know what it is either. Hopefully they touch that up. But yeah, that's just a little bit of a thing. 'Cause it stood out to me with the superhero landing. As much as I liked it, it felt pretty video game-ish.
Right. I don't know if it's like this Infinity Vision thing they're using because they're not doing IMAX. It's Infinity Vision, which is like the Disney
That's
thing. But it
that's
feels like, I don't know. I hope that's not some type of like over the top, CGI thing they're using now.
yeah, I don't care about Infinity Vision, dude. It's clearly a marketing ploy. They really want to see people come out to see that Endgame re-release for the
Yeah, right.
post-credit scene, and like they would probably get me without the Infinity Vision. I don't think that is that really going to work on anybody. You have IMAX or you have
Yeah.
regular screens, and there's a couple kind of in between things. And Infinity Vision is probably going to feel like one of those in between things.
Yeah, exactly. But we're excited for it. We've been covering it for the last year and we'll continue to cover it for the next 4 months until the movie comes out. Let's talk about the next trailer that dropped. Vision Quest arriving October 14th only on Disney Plus. So I don't know if like this is the best project to lead into Avengers Doomsday. I hope it does tie in somehow. The trailer didn't show too much when it came to like maybe a Wanda tease or some type of Avengers tease, but we did see Ultron in human form as James Spader, and we saw a clip of White Vision. It has some WandaVision vibes where it seems like it's two different realities. Maybe Vision doesn't exactly know what's going on. Did this get you excited at all?
No, I was really excited for
I
this one. I was really excited for this. I still kind of am excited, but I will say the trailer really kind of tampered that down a bit because really the trailer just felt like the first three episodes of WandaVision, this quirky,
yeah,
kind of like confusing situation. And I was so excited to see Ultron, and I figured leading into it, it wouldn't be much Ultron. It was the reports early on that James Spader would be there looking like in person, James Spader.
right.
And the way that things work and the way that Paul Bettany looked like Paul Bettany in Infinity War, you kind of expected that along with the reports, but like it wasn't very exciting. If you're bringing Ultron back, you got White Vision. I'm excited to get the answer to what White Vision's been up to. That is exciting. It's just the trailer didn't do much for me, but there's things to be excited about. I'm still excited to see James Spader. Like, what do they have for Ultron's character in this show? And what has White Vision been up to? I'm excited to see that.
Yeah,
It was good to see a shot of him flying around. And they were pretty clear about that this is the end of the trilogy of the Wanda story, WandaVision, Agatha all along, and Vision Quest. So you got to think that it's going to be important to Doomsday, especially if you're still looking for Wanda. I kind of think maybe Vision is, even though it's the different Vision, maybe he will still find that he's in love with Wanda and he misses his kids or something. Like there's enough of the old Vision left in him to really want
right.
all that. Trailer just didn't do it. I'm still pretty excited for it though.
Yeah, we'll definitely check it out. I just really hope it's not just. I mean, Wanda has to be in the show, right? The finale.
Yeah, she has to, or at least like the ending of it's got to lead to like, oh shit, she might be alive. We might have
And
just found her. I don't know. And then
and
Because
Feige
I don't
said
think
it's
we'll
the
see
end of
her.
the trilogy, right? Feige
Yeah,
said Vision Quest is the end of the Wanda trilogy.
yeah.
So that
She
has to
kind
be
of maybe
something.
s- seeing her in a Disney Plus show would be crazy. I'm all here for it. I hope that's a thing. And
Right.
I kind of want her to be revived before Doomsday. So I don't know, but if she's one of those witches that people are theorizing that some of those culty little witch followers,
Yeah.
one of those might be Wanda, and you'd kind of think that'd be more of a surprise if we did not see her get revived or come back in whatever way in
Yeah.
Vision Quest. That would be a little less surprising. I think that would hit harder if we hadn't seen her since Doctor Strange 2. And then all of a sudden she's one of these witches for Doctor Doom. But it's the end of the trilogy, and you kind of gotta bring her back. The whole theme of the second of that quote unquote trilogy, uh, a big theme of
Finding
that
her.
was finding Wanda. Yeah.
Right. All right. Let's talk about some I haven't been uploading the comments, but we have a very excited for the X-Men cast. Love that it's fairly unknowns. Is Henry Cavill getting a role in Marvel? Or is that just a rumor? I mean, I guess the one rumor out there is Wolverine, but because he played Wolverine in that one scene in Deadpool and Wolverine, but could you see Henry Cavill in the MCU as a member of the X-Men maybe?
I'll say, as far as like movie news online, I don't think that's a thing. I really don't think that's a thing.
Right.
But it's been rumored forever, like forever. People want Henry Cavill in the MCU. I don't think it's happening. But if I had to pick somebody off the top of my head, I'd almost want to put him in this role, Gladiator. He would be a good gladiator. This is like some galactic. God, there's better ways to explain this guy, but it's complex. There's this Lalandra. She's the empress of the Shi'ar Empire, and he's one of like the lead warriors of the Shi'ar Empire. And he's like a
Damn.
really cool character, really strong, flies around, laser eyes, and all this stuff, and very galactic, very X-Men oriented, right? So Professor X,
Okay.
like, I think, kind of married her, and he became kind of a high spot in the hierarchy of the Shi'ar
Okay.
because he was married to Lalandra. She's the empress of the Shi'ar. But Gladiator's a character I would love to see in the MCU, and I think Henry Cavill could do that one. But I don't think he's going to be in the MCU anytime soon.
Right. He's doing his Warhammer 40K. And also somebody get these beggars out of here. But let's talk about the X-Men cast. We got the whole, main squad. Basically, we got Kit Connor as Cyclops. A couple of these were reported in our last episode. So the Scoopers have been having a pretty good batting average lately. Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. We talked about that. But then the newer ones, Maya Boyd as Storm. She's a theater actress. She hasn't really been in any big roles yet, like the commenter talked about. And we have Christopher Abbott as Professor X. He's been in a couple big movies lately, but not as a main character. But he looks a lot like Kit Harington, people are saying. So that's okay with me. A little Jon Snow action. And we have Indy Navarrete, or I can never say her name, Navarrete. Indy Navarrete as Rogue. And we reported a rumor that Kaylee Spaney was supposed to be Rogue in the last episode, but I guess people are a little upset about that. And if you're going for comic book accuracy, I think Kaylee Spaney would have been more accurate to the comics. But Indy is a big star. She was just an obsession. I feel like she's perfect for the role as well. So you excited for this cast so far?
I think all the cast looks perfect.
Yeah.
Right? They all look perfect. So I'm also glad we don't know them. Like we always talk about that. Let's cast unknown roles.
Yeah.
People that show talent in the acting business. I'm just gonna say I just looked up because I didn't see the Professor X casting, and I just typed that into DuckDuckGo, which is the browser I use because it doesn't track your data, and
Yeah.
it just showed me straight up porn. That
Oh
was
my
so the weird,
gosh.
just
Hell yeah.
Professor X casting. There was no X-Men. There was just gross images.
Okay.
So
Hell
I had
yeah.
to put that phone down. So I don't know who the hell that guy is for Professor X.
Christopher
All
Abbott.
the other casting dudes, yeah, which I don't know the guy. Everyone else looks perfect. I'm totally good with all of it. Excited to see what they got. I'm sure because Marvel's always done really good with casting, even if it is So DuckDuckGo is good.
Yes, baby.
Yeah, they've always done great with casting, even with the unknown people. Everyone's nailed their role. Like, name a Marvel MCU character that hasn't landed in their role.
Right.
They don't
I mean,
all
even
they
if the
don't all have to
movie's
be
not good,
RDJ.
they're always
Yeah,
very accurate. Yes.
yeah.
And we also got Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister. He was rumored for Magneto at first, but he's going to be playing the, full villain. Are you a Mr. Sinister fan? How important is he to the X-Men?
I'm not gonna lie, Mr. Sinister has not stood out to me in the comics in like a single comic. So there's not
Okay.
one single comic that I've been like, it's a great villain, blah blah blah. He's been here and there. He's I like his backstory though. So I'm really excited that he is probably going to be the major villain of the first X-Men movie here in the MCU. So
Yeah.
I'm it's kind of good. I don't know anything about the freaking character. I've read a lot of X-Men comics, and I'm telling you, he doesn't stand out in a lot of comics. There's what was it called? There's a Sinister something, I think, in the Claremont run that people really like, but I didn't love it. I'm not a huge X-Men Claremont fan, which is sacrilege, by the way. You have to be a Claremont X-Men fan if you're a comic reader, and some of it's pretty solid, but most of it, I don't understand why it has such a legacy for its time anyway. Actually, for its time, I mean, it was probably really good. So there's probably those people with nostalgia, a lot of people that loved that back in the day. But in my opinion, it's not as amazing, reading it in 2026. But anyway, Mr. Sinister is a very interesting villain. He's going to be dealing with eugenics and the DNA and all that stuff, trying to test it and tamper with it and perfect it. And I like the look of him. He's got a cool kind of aesthetic about him, and I'm excited to see him as a main villain in this movie. We haven't seen that yet, right? We've seen a lot of X-Men villains on the big screen, but not Mr. Sinister.
And Adam Driver getting his redemption after Star Wars too.
Hopefully, and you know what? I like Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren was one of the best parts.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, of that new trilogy of Star Wars, pretty weak overall, but Adam Driver did a great job, and Kylo Ren was actually a pretty cool character.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, Adam Driver really pulled it off. Like, all his scenes I kind of bought,
Yeah.
He felt
a good actor.
Good actor. So in a villain role again, let's give him another shot and give him some good movies that people actually all really like, and it's not so damn controversial. Every one of those Kylo Ren movies were controversial.
Yeah, that's true. So Christopher Abbott, the Professor X actor, he was in Kraven the Hunter. I don't know exactly. I never saw that movie, but he was in that, and also he was in Wolfman, which people did like, the scary movie. I think he was like the main character in that one. So, hey.
Okay, well, I'll just type in his name, and hopefully DuckDuckGo won't do some weird.
Right.
Anyway.
And Rogue, to talk about Rogue for a second, people have been talking about, there's kind of a controversy behind Indy getting the role because she's not as comic book accurate as they'd like. But do you agree that the Rogue characters in the original X-Men movies and the reboot ones weren't very comic book accurate either, where she was just like this emo kind of chick, you know what I mean?
Yeah, X23 is the first thing to do Rogue well, right? We have not seen Rogue done well on the big screen, just straight up. That's easy. It's just like Cyclops, kind of like Storm as well. So.
Oh.
Is that me or you?
That was you. Continue.
No, probably me. Okay.
But Rogue, it's time to redeem Rogue, right?
Yeah, it's time to. I really trust the MCU. I think every character is going to be done well, like especially the ones who haven't gotten their big screen due yet, like Cyclops and Rogue. I think those characters will shine more than the rest just for that fact. And just the MCU knows how to use their characters. Even during this mediocre era, they were actually just kind of using characters no one cared about in a way.
Yeah.
Now they're using X-Men. Like, these are important characters, and I'd have trust in them, dude. Feige was like a part of the X-Men production and the very original X-Men. Like, the X-Men, obviously the Marvel has a special place in his heart, but gotta be especially the X-Men, dude. I don't think there's no green lights given unless everything's perfect with this one. Feige's back, got his creative control back. And yeah, those characters are going to get their due.
I'm kind of happy they've waited this long to bring the X-Men in too. It's the perfect time. We've seen the Avengers over and over again. We're at the new Avengers. Let's just, after Secret Wars, fresh start, fresh X-Men, and just go with that story. It's going to be perfect.
Dude, 100%. This is perfect time for new blood. We got our Fantastic Four, kind of to hold us over the edge until the next Avengers movie. Right. But then X-Men, you could do a whole phase on the X-Men. I still wish they did origin movies like Phase 1 MCU, Cyclops origin, Storm origin.
It would be kind of cool,
so forth,
because we know they're doing an X-Men movie.
Yeah, so and that makes more sense.
It would be cool though to do like a couple, but you don't want like they would do it in like a series or something, and it wouldn't feel as important. So I guess it's better just do it in an X-Men movie.
Yeah, and it's just the X-Men are they don't like those individual characters don't have their own comics at all. It's all makes sense. It's fine. Right. X-Men comics come as X-Men comics. Of course, later some of them got their own individual titles, but in general, it's X-Men comics.
Right. I'm excited for that. We have some more Marvel topics. It seems Hugh Jackman has added his name with Ryan Reynolds to be in Doomsday. So both Deadpool and Wolverine, it seems like they're going to be in the movie now after seeing these clips. Are you excited to see them one more time in the Avengers movie now? They haven't really interacted with any of the, guys we've known for a long time.
Right when you said that, I was like, I don't care really. I love them. I love their characters. I love that movie. I love it all. But I was like, I don't need it. I don't care. Even though it makes perfect sense, TVA and all that stuff. Of course they're going to be in the movie. But as soon as you said watching them interact with other people, like, of course I want that. Dude, Wolverine interacting with like Black Panther, America, Thor, Captain America, Deadpool interacting with whoever. All that's golden. That's like some of the most fun I've had in the MCU is watching characters interact. That like 20 years ago should have never, ever been in the same movie ever, period. Like never happening. And now all of a sudden everyone's freaking interacting and all these characters that are really solid. Like that sounds awesome. I'm not saying I of course I want them to be in the movie. That's fine. It's just I could live without it if they were not.
Right, exactly. Give me Deadpool and Ant-Man though. Imagine Paul Rudd and Ryan Reynolds going back and forth. That'd be so good.
Yeah. They both think each other are idiots. They'd be hella confident about it.
Oh my gosh. So I'm excited for it. I mean, if they're in the movie though, they're probably gonna like be around for the third act. Especially Wolverine, right? Do you want to see Wolverine versus Doctor Doom? Like, and what if Wolverine interacts with all the X-Men? Is that going to be a thing as well? Or is it going to be two separate like universes?
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Is it the same X-Men, the same universe? Dude, I know nothing about what the hell is going to happen in this movie. It's so all over the place. There's no way to predict. You can just predict anything at this point, and it's kind of valid in a way because everything can happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's just a win, and it's no surprise. Of course, they should be in the movie. It was Deadpool and Wolverine was the most Doomsday setup I feel like any other project has been.
Yeah, really though. The costumes were displayed at D23. We saw them again, and we saw the black costume with the third eye in the middle of the forehead, which is very reminiscent of Doctor Strange at the end of his movie. And Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch has not been confirmed for Doomsday, but he's got to be in it, right? And do you think that this, third-eyed one is him, or is it maybe Clea?
There's no way Doctor Strange is not in this movie. I mean, I should have said because Deadpool and Wolverine, yes, but Doctor Strange 2 was
right.
Again, like one of the two absolute, clearly most set up for Doomsday any Marvel project has been. I will say in the Incursion Saga, in the comics that we're about to read, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, love, but when that third eye opens in this comic, some really, really badass shit happens.
This one right
here? Yeah.
Okay.
That third eye right there, because he doesn't have that in the comics usually. It's totally like related to the Incursion Saga. So it was really cool to see that third eye in Doctor Strange 2. But that Doctor Strange is definitely in the movie. Look at this. Hugh Jackman versus Tobey
My
Maguire.
God. The two biggest legacy Marvel characters. They throw like
And it's a good fight.
Ian McKellen in there. Yeah, it's a good fight too.
I would still pick. Damn, that's tough. I want to pick Toby because
that's
he could
a good
like,
nerd
fly around him
octagon
and web him up. It's a great nerd octagon, but like the kill shot, what is Wolverine could slice out of webs. He's probably I don't think he's physically stronger than Spider-Man, but more durable. He's more durable, could take more damage. How does Spider-Man actually stop this guy? He could web all the hell out of him, though. You web him right on up and swing him around the buildings and shit and play tennis with him. But then at what point does he win? It's going to be a tough one. It's a good fight.
Wolverine kills, though. Spider-Man doesn't. Yeah. That might give him the edge, right?
You kind of want to give it to Wolverine there. Because he could slice right onto that, right on out of the webs and slice them up with his freaking cat claws.
Yeah, I think I take Wolverine.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know who I got. I'll go Spider-Man just to be opposite you.
And the other costume, obviously you've seen the purple and the green one, but there's this gold one, and she's kind of doing this pose, and it looks like Wanda. I'm sorry, but it's giving strong Wanda vibes. Do you agree?
Yeah. I don't know. It's because he has the 2-3 cult following. He has like one major cult following in the whole comic series leading up to it, and none of them played like a significant character's role. But so therefore, as a comic reader, I'm just going to overthink it. I want to say that they all mean nothing and they're just a little cult following. But the colors, the way they match up, and the way I feel like they're going to do these little surprises like Doctor Strange, Wanda, and there's a couple other characters that could and possibly should be this surprise. Like, oh my God, they've been on Doctor Doom's side this whole time.
Sylvie. For sure.
Yeah, Sylvie. So I kind of think it is all like Wanda and Agatha and Doctor Strange. And
I hope it's not randoms or nobodies, you know?
Yeah, no, it would be those characters. They're getting MCU's like you could predict half of this shit nowadays.
Right.
But
and
really,
if he got Fantastic Four on his side, he should be able to get Doctor Strange and Wanda and these other like way more gray area characters on his side, right?
I don't know. We'll see if the Fantastic Four is on his side.
Well, they were for a little bit.
On his side. What do you mean?
They know each other. They know each other before they realize he's a villain.
Yes, family friend before he went full Doctor Doom. That's total comic history too. They Reed and Victor college together, competitive but kind of respectfully competitive, but still actually kind of at each other's throats. Sue talking about Doom like that made perfect sense. That totally works. Mm-hmm. I just don't know. I thought he was going to be like a fake kind of hero the first act of the movie.
He still could be,
but
at least for
I know he could. He could. He totally could, especially if he comes out looking like Tony Stark. Maybe they play that role. I don't know, but like, but the trailer showed him just full villain mode. So it's like, now you're not going to play that trick on us now that you showed him doing full on Doctor Doom stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah. Another thing that was set up at D23, Eric Voss from New Rockstars, I saw it on his Twitter page, so credit to him. And it looks like Doctor Doom might be attacking the TVA in Doomsday. So there was like this kind of setup out there where it looks like the TVA has been attacked by Doctor Doom, which makes sense, which could bring Loki into this. So, there's so much going on in this movie, but Doom attacking the TVA does make sense.
Makes perfect sense. He's going to want to, all of us thought he was going to need to go grab Loki and grab the strings of time on the tree and hang on to the timeline. And that, not literally, but he was going to somehow bring that capability into his powers, something weird like that. Like you figured he was going to seek out Loki, got to get through the TVA to get to Loki. So that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. This movie is going to be 3 hours easily. But Marvel has released a list of essential projects to watch before Doomsday. And let me tell you, it's pretty long, but we have 4 months to watch it in case you haven't watched all these yet. X-Men, X2, Captain America, the first Avenger, The Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, Loki, both seasons, I'm guessing, Shang-Chi, No Way Home, Wakanda Forever, Captain America, Brave New World, Deadpool and Wolverine, Multiverse of Madness, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. It's a lot going on there, but it seems like kind of the important ones, but no Brand New Day. And I guess that kind of makes sense because Brand New Day didn't really connect to Doomsday very much. And do you I feel like I wish it connected more. Not looking
I
back.
wish it connected more, but thrilled with what we got
Right.
at the same
Yeah.
time. I will say half of this list seems like he's like, hey, give Disney Plus some views, give some DVD sales over here. Cause like original X-Men, it's like, why watch that? Oh, it's because these characters will be in Doomsday. And it's like,
Or
okay,
even Shang-Chi.
X2.
Just so
Yeah,
you know
like why
who
would
he
you watch
is.
Shang-Chi? Oh, because Shang-Chi will be in the movie. Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
X-Men 2? Oh, you should watch that because those characters will be in the movie.
Captain America,
First Avenger. Peggy. You can go with that. I'll go with that. Peggy, you got to see their relationship because that's going to be important.
Okay.
Avengers, I don't know, like Loki. That's why you got to watch the Loki series. So you got to watch that. I don't know. Endgame. Obviously, Cap's journey and Tony's death apparently plays a role into that.
No Way Home, Tobey Maguire.
No Way Home. That's interesting. That's an interesting one. I like that. Like it's like, wait, why? But maybe it is Toby and Andrew. But again, Loki series, actually 100%. Definitely got to watch that. Captain America, Brave New World. It's just like, oh, that character is going to be in Doomsday. So you should watch that. Deadpool and Wolverine, 100%. Yes. Thunderbolts, it's like, yeah, these characters will be in Doomsday. But at the same time, they're kind of a significant like organization now. So I think that's kind of reasonable. Like, why are they called New Avengers and all that? So you watch Thunderbolts.
You should watch Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four before Avengers Doomsday if you haven't already.
And Fantastic Four is another one, 100% by far. Yes. And then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, another one. Yeah, 100% watch that one. But
the
other half is just like, yeah, if you want to know what this like, they're going to be in the movie, so watch their movie.
Last Stand. Don't watch X3. No one talks about that movie.
No mention of that one. Forget about Jean Grey. Okay, we got a new Jean Grey. We're moving on.
Yeah. But I definitely want to rewatch Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four for sure. I want to watch those before the movie. Maybe Multiverse of Madness. But then after that, it's like, I've already seen it. I know what happens. I didn't forget.
Yeah. And I'm not going to invest 15, 20 hours doing all Loki again. I can't do it.
Yeah, right.
But to be fair, though, I've rewatched all this shit at least 3 times, so I'll be good to go.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is for the casuals out there, not the pros like us.
Right.
Yeah, we're better than that. All right, one last piece of Marvel news. Disney has announced their first ever official Marvel and Star Wars crossover, written by Kevin Smith, of course, big time Star Wars Marvel fan, Jay and Silent Bob, all those types of stuff he made before. It's called Hope Assembles, a 5-part comic that takes place in the primary continuity of the Marvel Comics Earth 616. Do crossovers excite you at all? And does a Marvel Star Wars crossover excite you at all?
I don't care. This excites me. It's just Star Wars crossing with Marvel. I don't think that's ever happened. I'm excited. I do not care what it's about. I just want to see these characters interact. That is really fun. I had no idea until we were joining this Week in Geek. Didn't know that was a thing, but it doesn't make sense. All the characters in Marvel could whoop the Star Wars people's ass, and that's
whoa.
Not the point. Yeah, come on. I mean, Vader, the Jedi, there's a lot of Marvel characters the Jedi can take out. I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? Plenty of Marvel characters that can be killed by Sith and Jedi, maybe even easily, but don't care how little it makes sense. Don't even care what the story is. I'm excited to hear about Star Wars and Marvel crossing over because that'll be fun.
I think it's original trilogy, so it's, Vader and Luke. The ones we want.
Kevin Smith is not my favorite writer, though. I'll say that. He's kind of a goofball.
He's done comic books before, right?
Yeah, he did Green Arrow. He actually did a pretty good Daredevil run. That's where, spoiler alert, I guess. But like Karen Page dies in Marvel canon with his comic book when Bullseye kills her in the church is totally a Kevin Smith run. It's called New Guardian, I think. But not a big Kevin Smith fan, man. So I kind of want to put my hat
Yeah.
forward, and so I don't look like Kevin Smith, but I'll just keep it back here and be confident about it.
Love it. All right, let's talk a little Star Wars. We got our first trailer for Ahsoka season 2. It premieres on Disney Plus January 20th. We got some, everything leading off from season 1 where they're stuck in a different universe. We have Shin Hati, the new casted Balin Skull, of course, the Hound from Game of Thrones. We see more shots of Ezra, Thrawn, Ahsoka, Sabine, jam-packed cast, of course. This get you excited at all? Little shots of Anakin as well.
I thought it was a good trailer. Thought it looked sick. It really did. Let me ask you. Do you think that they're doing the movie like in Ahsoka season 2 now? Because I feel like that movie is scrapped. And maybe they're just implementing that into like making Ahsoka season 2, less development and more war and excitement. Do you think that could be the case?
If it's not this season, it's definitely like the next thing they're doing. You know what I mean? Like this season is going to set up the movie where there's not going to be another season of The Mandalorian after Mando.
So you think there'll still be a movie? Is that really still
I
supposed
do.
to happen?
I do think there's going to be still a movie.
I hope so.
I think they're just kind of pushing forward faster than they might have originally planned after Mando and Grogu. But I think they still have to finish, the Bo-Katan, Mando, Grogu, Ahsoka all in a movie together. It would be sick.
Yeah, no, I want the movie. I really do. It just seems like, Thrawn in this trailer is like all out war against the rebellion.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, damn. And he's like, I'm back, like to this universe, not whatever weird ass universe he was in. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm back. We're going to war. So it feels like that feels like the plot of the movie they were planning. And I swear they said they might have scrapped it. I don't know if that was a rumor,
right?
Or not, but
no, they might have.
I'm concerned about that, man.
Remember, Thrawn made it back to the original universe. Ahsoka and Sabine are stuck in the other universe. So they're going to have to find their way back. So I imagine that'll take a couple episodes. While Thrawn will be like fucking shit up in the original universe. They're going to have to find their way back. And you have Shin and Balin over there as well.
And then hopefully they return. And that's how kind of the movie might start.
Right.
That'd be sick. But back like to the trailer, dude, the space battles look sick.
Yeah,
they were all over the place, flying around, shooting, and then you got these 3 lasers coming down on one of the the starfighters. That was such a sick shot. The Hound, it was great to see the Hound, like him taking over that role. Ray Stevenson, R.I.P.
And they were friends.
See the Hound, straight up. And just to see him was exciting, and that's kind of cool enough if you're a Game of Thrones fan. For me, anyway, it was cool enough. I'm really sad that the casting is, I'm really, really as fucked up as that sounds. I'm really sad he died, but that is terrible. But like, I feel like the Hound make kind of like the recasting isn't as weird anymore. I'm kind of excited to see the Hound in that role.
Yeah, we're not super connected to the character as well. Like Ray Stevenson killed it. But it's not like a legacy character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And somebody says something about they're bringing the power to end all wars. So what are you talking about if it's not another Star Destroyer? Or is it the Star Fighters that can destroy planets? Wasn't that part of the Thrawn book? Well, the Death Star, yeah. But like when the actual Star Destroyers can kill a planet.
No, they were not TIE interceptors. They were TIE fighters, but they had like
something.
They had like a special device on the TIE fighter that made them way more powerful than any other thing.
No.
They did the Death Star instead.
Wasn't it that TIE fighters can now travel at the speed of light and go?
Right. That's called light speed.
He's making an army of TIE fighters that can go light speed. Yeah, because the Star Destroyers could kill planets in the Kylo trilogy, right? Or was that not? Was that in the books, or was that like a thing?
No, in the Kylo trilogy, they had the planet. It was like built into the planet with all the kyber crystals.
Yeah, and it killed all the planet. Okay, it must have been in a book then. But anyway,
right.
But does that really sound like the power to end all wars? TIE fighters That doesn't.
No.
So I wonder what they got up their sleeve there. A third Death Star. You never know.
Right. But they're going back to the well with Hayden Christensen. They're bringing back Anakin Skywalker for a season 2. I always love to see more Anakin, but at the same way, it does feel kind of cheap. But also, if you're telling the Ahsoka story, you do need Anakin as this kind of Force ghost by your side. So, what side do you lean towards?
I don't care about Force ghosts. I think they're kind of cool. Like Yoda. I don't even like The Last Jedi, but Yoda's Force ghost in The Last Jedi was sick.
Yeah.
And even Obi-Wan at the end of, the Qui-Gon at the end of Obi-Wan, I kind of liked that Force ghost, but I love Anakin.
Like quick scenes though. It's not like as a mentor throughout the show.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. It's just, I like Anakin too much just to see him as a Force ghost. He's like one of the coolest characters in fiction. His story is one of the best in fiction. I don't care about seeing him as a Force ghost. It doesn't excite me. Even in season 1, didn't even care to see him fighting Ahsoka as a Force ghost. I'm sorry, but he's dead. So
yeah. But we did get the flashbacks in the trailer of young Ahsoka with Anakin, and we do know that it's pretty sure that Ewan McGregor is going to be in this season in his Clone Wars gear, possibly Natalie Portman as well as Padme. The flashbacks are cool. I know it's kind of like going back to the well again, not too consequential, but Clone Wars, you get that Clone Wars Kenobi armor back on, I'll be excited anytime.
Yeah, and like that's not a Force ghost. If I'm seeing Anakin, Obi-Wan present day, flashback, but like actually living, I'm really excited about that. It's probably very limited.
Yeah.
Just to explain some villain's backstory or something, but though, and the action looked great in those shots too. I think the action looked great throughout this trailer.
Yeah. It would be cool because the Thrawn books are canon, so it would be cool to get a Thrawn Anakin interaction from the Clone Wars era.
Yeah, that would be sick. That would be sick. That would be totally cool.
That makes it worth it.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
The Ezra actor teased the season, saying a lot more lightsaber action, space battles. There's going to be witches, swords, explosions galore. It's really fun and fast paced. And even Hayden Christensen said I forgot what he said exactly, but it was like there's gonna be wars and they're gonna be up in the stars. You could call it a Star Wars. It's like he didn't say anything about it, but
nice.
The witches. So there's the Night Sisters are coming back, which has been a theme throughout Ahsoka with the kind of abandoned Night Sister. Am I thinking of the video games? But anyways, the Night Sisters have always been involved, so I always like to get that side of things.
I like the Night Sisters. Yeah, they bring a weird magical spice to things, and they revived. They helped out Darth Maul. Best part of Clone Wars. They do cool things, like they do significant things, and
it's different.
They have this like what was Darth Bane's apprentice? Zana? Something like that.
Zana? Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. They have a very Zana vibe, but Zana was such a cool character. Yeah. I like the witch aspect of Star Wars. See more of that. I'm down for that. So
yeah. Speaking of, Maul Shadow Lord Season 2 officially premieres in 2027. Probably the most significant animated series we've gotten in a while. We all love the show on this podcast, and we want to see the rise or the fall of Devin under Maul's wing, right?
Yeah. Devin's the only kind of wild card. Star Wars, we do all these shows and movies, and we know the character's fate. At least Devin adds something that we don't know what's going to happen. And in the meanwhile, we could watch Darth Maul being a badass. And that show does that really well.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I missed one thing. There was the Beyond the Spider-Verse trailer. Did you get to watch that before it was taken down off the internet?
No. Yeah, super leaked. It wasn't official.
It was leaked on Twitter a couple times, and then it was gone. But it showed, not to like spoil anything, I don't know, it's a trailer, but it showed like an extended clip of what happened at the end of the last movie when he goes to the different universe and his uncle and the other version of him confront him, and it kind of continues on that scene, what happens there, and then it goes in like a little fast-paced trailer. But it didn't look like it was finished as well, like the CGI wasn't done. I don't know how it was leaked onto Twitter. I don't know where it came from, but that's a good trilogy. If this movie hits, it could be like pound for pound the best Spider-Man trilogy of all time.
Ooh.
Do you like Into and Across the Spider-Verse as much as I do?
Love it. Love it. Yeah.
They're good
I mean, I
fucking
think
movies.
for me, it's impossible. Even though I don't love Homecoming as much as everyone, I like Far From Home more than most people.
Yeah.
And No Way Home is just
Yeah,
freaking
I know.
golden. Sure, fan service, but just so good. No way it's going to beat that. But even if it takes second place, best Spider-Man trilogy of all time.
That's
Well,
big
you're really
shoes to
just
fill.
going against Toby after that, but
Yeah,
still. Ooh, because 1 and 2 were really good. 3
I
was
know.
terrible,
Yeah.
but just animated, and if it's such a good trilogy. It's so badass. It's beautiful, man. The character, it feels like a live action or
A
a
comic, it
comic
feels like a
book.
comic book.
It feels like a comic book, yeah, with like live action characters in a
Yeah.
way. It's so good. Can't wait to see
Yeah.
it. It's probably not going to take one of the 2 top Spider-Man trilogy spots for me, regardless of how good it is.
Yeah. It could for me. We'll see how it wraps it up. But yeah, I mean, the way the second movie ended, I cannot wait for this to come out. And
Yeah.
then to wrap things up, a show we all love, not in our direct fandom universe, but Welcome to Derry season 2 has been greenlit. It is going back in time to 1935. The Great Depression, a bloody massacre takes place for the Bradley Gang, a group of bank robbers who stop in Derry to buy ammo and end up facing an unimaginable horror. So, I mean,
I wonder.
I'm down.
I wonder.
I'm all. That's all I need to know, and I'm down to see Pennywise come back and take all these bank robbers out. Right?
Yeah, Welcome to Derry was such a surprise. Unbelievably good for what we probably expected. But I'm also really excited to see that it takes place in a completely different era. Right? We're not
Right?
trying to. The writers and the showrunners aren't trying to figure out what to do with the characters next or anything. It's like, here's a different story over here. It's probably a really
Yeah.
good story because of that. They just get to start fresh and do something really cool. They have a vision. They're going to go with it. And you said it was like the early 1900s?
36, 35.
36. Yeah.
I
So
think the
that
last
I
one was in
want
the
to,
50s. So it was, like 20 years, like a 20-year. He comes back every 20 something years.
yeah. And just think of him like fighting these like really old, like 1930s technology type people, but it's Pennywise. He hasn't dipped in quality or technology or anything like that. He's going to be a menace, and it's going to be kind of even scarier against people with such limited shelter and technology and whatever they got in the 1930s.
Right. And they're dealing with the depression. They can't deal with Pennywise at the same time, but these are bank robbers. Yeah, they're coming. All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up for this edition of Week in Geek with our D23 coverage, X-Men casting, Avengers Doomsday trailer. If you just tuned in live now, rewind back to the beginning and watch the episode for us. But if not, check it out on Apple or Spotify. We're dropping episodes weekly now. Just recently, our House of the Dragon finale coverage is out. So if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, give us a 5-star review, leave a comment on the episode, and thank you. And we'll see you next time. We'll be doing a little Lanterns coverage. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time at Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast.